Shot too, but that's what I said, I'm gonna have to leave it on my car for a while.
Wow,
That's a 1, 2, 3.
I don't know, it's making some weird sound though. I'm like, I just told her, I said, oh, I gotta put my phone in.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm on here.
Oh, you love workshop? That's what I was telling. Me and her just left North Street, right? And she
I love
don't
North
she don't say, I don't expect you all this much spending.
Well, you shot. I love North Carolina.
I brought 2 pair of shoes, some bad heels.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Nothing today?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Is that any better? Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Testing.
That's when you always shop.
I love North Carolina.
Yeah, when I'm doing something, but I want.
You gonna check it out?
I think that's just a little
Yeah,
better.
it's picking up good, Adam.
You think that's good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just make sure you turn it down a little bit.
Well, that's my phone. I just turned my phone up.
Be in the bed.
Oh, it was.
Are you sure you're going to sleep? You better be going to bed right now, Cookie.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Very good. You're turning off the TV. Now pick up both the puppies and go to the bed.
In a
Okay.
minute, you're gonna be on.
Okay, I gotta go. Rhonda's going live on the podcast. This is so much fun. Love you. Good night. I'm not a goofy ass Ricky Ricardo.
Hold on.
Select hours on UBM Radio are furnished by paid programming. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of UBM Radio, Urban Broadcast Media, their subsidiaries, or sponsors. Man Cave Conversations, the emergence of the side chick, and everything in between. This is Unique Perspectives Love Talk Radio, a new look at love and relationships, with your host, Charles Dixon.
Good evening, everyone. We're back for another week of Unique Perspectives Love Talk Radio. I'm your host, Charles Dixon, and tonight I have the gang back again. I have Mr. Andre to my right. I have Miss Rhonda, yours truly, Natalie, and Adam. All right.
What's up, everybody?
Back to start some more trouble, y'all. So,
Why am I back to start more trouble?
so tonight's topic, we'll be dealing with the smart phone, the new silent killer of love. Now, I'm sure everybody can add something here because, you know, we're all honest. Well, first things first, everybody, please, if you can, if those that are tuning in, please share it to your friends. Don't be selfish and just get all the information yourself. Share it to your friends and everyone. Like the page, you know, give us some love so we can keep this thing growing if possible. All right. So tonight, again, we're starting off talking about the smartphone, the silent killer of love. All right. Now, I can truly say for my own self that I'm probably a compulsive user. And, you know, I have to go ahead and go first and say I'm pretty bad with it.
Oh, yeah.
But you know
Really
what?
bad.
Have the second and third there.
So I
Right.
can say this, though. For me, I can only speak for my own infirmities regarding this, right? But for me, sometimes if you take a step back and look at it from a different perspective, you kind of see a deeper reason why you choose to distract yourself. And I thought about it, and sometimes sometimes we're covering up something deeper. You know, something with us, something we avoiding confronting about ourselves, or something that may be going on in our lives, different things. And so sometimes technology is a good escape. It's a good escape. And you can kind of get lost in cyber world, whether it be smartphones or whatever. But I was thinking over the week, and I said to myself, a smartphone coupled with a smart person is a brilliant disaster. So I said, wow. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
So, you think about it, so many ways you can go with things, and you can develop some really rude habits.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, over the past few months, I've noticed the decline I've noticed it getting worse. And meaning this, like, I could be doing something, I could be around somebody, and immediately I'm like, I'm on my computer, I'm in my phone, I'm just like, what's going on here?
Wow.
So, but I'm just saying to myself, I didn't used to be like this. I was far more social, far more engaging into the environment I'm in. It's like, so I found myself going inward.
Okay.
And so I was just like, okay, let's talk about this. Because I know a lot of people who are dealing with it in a worse way, far more worse way than this. I mean,
addiction.
yes.
Yeah.
Let's get the word
Yes.
out.
Yeah.
It's addiction.
And so, I mean, I've seen people, if you look at it, I see people when you're out, like sometimes I go out and grab me something to eat by myself, and I'll look at the table, somebody be on a date, and both of them are sitting there,
On their
and
phone.
they both are like this, and the whole time they're eating, they're on their phone. I'm just like,
They
they're not
could've stayed
talking
home
to
for
each
that,
other.
right.
And so it's just like, it's killing communication.
Wow.
It's just like, it's developing a bad habit.
Yeah.
And so my quest is to just take back normalcy and kind of kill technology. Sometimes you got to put your phone in the bucket,
Right.
put it, hide it away,
Right.
and just go
It
back
has-
to
it
regular,
has the ability.
regular
Yeah.
communication.
Yeah.
This is a deep conversation. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead.
so
Yeah.
y'all, I mean, most of y'all, I'm sure, heard about Zuckerberg testifying in front of Congress the other day, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
And what
Yeah.
was he talking about? Facebook is designed to bring people together,
Together,
help
right.
communication.
Right.
So communication is changing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really changing.
Right.
And we're changing because the validation aspect. I used to be in technology for a little bit, and I was working on some startups, and one of the things I looked at was called a check nation, because what do? We script through email, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. What has there any new alerts? Anything new? Any text
Right.
message? Anything new? And
Right.
it's what is called a dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So if Sean Parker, who used to work on Facebook, wrote an article the other day, and he was talking about how they basically are capitalizing off of human nature. And
Yeah.
we're saying that they're looking to get you to get to a point of validation where that dopamine hit is needed, like you're
Right.
fiend.
Yeah.
And
Necessary.
that's where we're at right
Yeah.
now.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, if you think about it, it's definitely going to affect your relationship. Let's just say, for instance, you can't even be in a company in a relational setting. Like, you might be just chilling, looking at movies, and it's like the engaging is definitely suffering because you got one person and you over there, and this is like, how do we get out of this? You know what I'm
Right,
saying? It's really
right.
bad. And so, you have to have that difficult conversation, and if the person is in it as invested as you are in fixing it, then that your only hope is that you can kind of talk and discuss some ways to how can we get out of this and go back to normalcy.
Yeah,
You know?
I kind of think, and it may be that I'm about to date myself in terms of how I relate to people.
Okay.
But, oh God, I can't believe I'm starting to say this. But back in my day,
Date myself?
right? Back in my day, I mean, we didn't have like smartphones and tablets and things of this nature that
The payphone.
really took your attention. We had the
You had
payphone.
to go talk.
You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to talk to somebody,
Yeah.
you had to go outside and
Yeah,
put a
beeper,
quarter in
yeah,
there,
same thing.
or you had the beeper, or you had the sidekick, or whatever like that. But it still allowed you to have FaceTime without actually having a phone to do it on.
Right.
You actually had to spend time with the person to talk to them to find out how they were doing. Nowadays, we use this medium, and let me just say this. For all of the technology we have today, and I really do appreciate as the advancements that we have made technologically. We have so many things that are at our disposal, so much information that we have that is literally at our fingertips. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's costing us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because now we're not even able to interface with one another on a physical, real level. We're so used to going on Facebook and going on Snapchat to really talk to one another.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, honestly. So I'm like,
But a key point Dre made was it's where all of the validation is happening.
Yeah.
Like we have looked to these platforms.
well, we kind of put it there though.
Yeah, to validate our communications, our relationships, and it's like, wait a minute, what happened to just real life, this
Right.
cyber world?
Right.
So we just left that to this.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
and it's almost getting worse because it's almost the world we're creating, right? Particularly on social media, because people are like, they're living a better life there than they actually are in real life.
Man.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
That's the
Yeah,
scary
they
part,
are.
'cause that's almost like a virtual reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Living.
It
And
is.
what started to really scare me was when I started to see people live streaming like TV shows, like Scandal and stuff, where they're like commenting,
Yeah,
and everybody's
yeah.
talking at the same time. Like,
They're like, you watch your own
they're
show.
lonely.
Right.
But
Right.
I'm not
Yeah,
judging.
you're right.
I'm
So
saying
that's real.
that just shows you the level that people at where they just want to connect.
Connect to
When
other
they're
people.
Live
Yeah.
streaming on Facebook. I'm like, man, it's like
Now wait a minute.
nothing.
When
Not
Love
there's
and
anything
Hip
wrong
Hop
with that.
Here we go.
Basketball
Here we go.
wives,
Here we go.
We got to discuss some of the different stuff because Kirk be acting up on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. You know, we have to discuss different
God.
things. So, you know, it has its purpose. It has
No,
its
I
place.
get it. I'm just saying, like, why not get together like a group, like order some pizza
And come over to the house and watch it with me. Yeah.
That would be
Have a viewing
actually
party.
fun.
That's interaction.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interaction.
That
Yeah.
would be fun, but I think the problem is that people are so wrapped up in their own personal interactions, and a lot of times people don't even want to leave the house. They are much more comfortable sitting behind the screen.
Exactly.
They don't want to leave the house.
Wow. Wow.
So
But I
this-
think that that's because they can hide behind a different
That's
personality.
all
Yeah.
Right. I was going to say
They
the
can
same
pretend
thing.
to be something else.
That-
Yeah, yeah.
that coupled with this environment now, it's really a dismissive person. It's the best world for them.
Yes.
Because they can turn it off, turn it on, bye, see you later, do this, blah blah blah. Which is you're not connecting. It's kind of unrealistic. It's living in an unrealistic world.
Yeah.
Like you said,
I don't know if they consciously understand it like that though. Right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
an unconscious thing. It
Yeah.
just feels better to them
Yes.
because it's less emotional interaction.
Exactly.
right.
And it's like I can, particularly for introverts.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what
definitely.
I'm
Definitely.
saying. Not
I'm
the
just
social
more.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
like thinking consciously like I'm gonna keep my.
But
they're like,
look at how many times you hear whether someone's online or just in a regular conversation where someone will say, "Oh, I blocked him. I did this." People they get off on shutting doors on people.
Control.
Online, yes, control, and it's just
Right.
like, man,
they
Right.
don't have in real life.
That they don't
Yeah,
have real life.
It's
right.
that virtual
Wow.
world, man.
Yeah. I think the other thing too has to do with the fact that because of the fact that we're not going to interface with each other physically or in terms of actually seeing each other face to face. Once we do it digitally, we're going on Facebook and these different social media platforms. It kind of gives you a pseudo sense of security and safety, because if you reject me, then I can just I can block you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there's no real feeling of
Conversations
rejection
happen, yeah,
or
and there's no-
repercussion as a result of
and there's no
that.
real closure to anything.
Exactly.
You just cut,
Let's
bunch
talk
of cut
about it in
off.
terms of building a relationship. I mean, like the whole like new age of texting to getting to know somebody. Now, like you said, that dates me because I come from the school where you talk on the phone for hours.
Exactly.
You can't
Right.
get to know
Yeah, you
someone
cannot
through
get to know
text.
someone.
No, you
They
can't.
can
Through random
misinterpret
phone
it.
can't.
They can, they can
Yeah.
very
No.
misinterpret it.
But you know what's so bad? I'm sorry.
No,
What's
no.
so bad is nowadays, even if you pick up the phone, the smartphone's still winning. You can be on the phone with somebody. Let's just say you got more than one phone or something else going. Hold on, that's just this. Oh, hold on for a minute. Hold on, it's a mess. You know, that's why you got to go back to just flat out. If you can have face to face, or if you can be on the phone, let's just be on the phone, me and you.
Right.
That's it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Or,
Right.
you know.
But what about when you're on the phone and you think that you're having meaningful conversation with someone, but you can tell that they're doing other things
That's
because
because-
these are these lapses in communication or pauses. I think the better way to fix it is just to go back completely to face-to-face interaction versus trying to get to know somebody over the phone.
But-
I mean, once you're hanging out, then you can talk on the phone too, but initially you have to go out some.
Well,
I think
yeah,
because y'all getting like cheaper and weirder. Men overall are getting like,
Wait a minute, hold on. How did this turn into that? Why we turn that corner like that?
because Charles will start in on the women in a little bit.
So you trying to jump? You trying to be preemptive?
I need to
Everybody was afflicted 5 minutes ago.
Right. Right.
Let me say one thing. It's generational though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is definitely,
Something I said
definitely.
earlier is true is that communications changed. Like I can't even imagine being in college with this.
Yeah.
With Facebook.
Oh yeah,
and this is their
yeah.
norm now.
Right,
So their
right. Well, they grew up
communication
with it.
is completely different because they
Yeah.
don't understand what we're talking about. They're like,
Exactly.
right, if I don't get to know you in text, I can't really get to know you. Like I don't even understand that.
Right.
So it is generational. We getting older.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Daggone it. Why you have to say it out loud?
getting better.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think that generation gap is something to appreciate because we are looking at it from our perspective that they're seeing something totally different.
I mean, I think there's something of value in being able to interact with somebody in the space that you're in.
Oh, absolutely.
Versus doing it on a screen. I mean, I think you
Definitely
lose
it is.
something in that exchange. Here's the other thing too, and I say this all the time, particularly if I'm in a relationship with somebody and I'm in a relationship with somebody. Don't text me something sensitive and critical.
Yes.
Pick up the phone.
Don't, because I don't understand your tone.
Yeah.
I can't hear
Yeah.
your cadence.
Right.
I don't understand your
Right.
vernacular.
Right.
If I'm seeing it on the text, I'm using my own processes to interpret and actually fill in the gaps
Right.
as to how you're saying what you're saying.
Right.
And you could be saying it in a totally different way. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a text and I interpreted it in a way that the person didn't mean it.
Yeah.
And I'm losing. So if you got something important to say, call me.
They mean just what they say. You know what? Yeah, they all mean the same. But yeah, I mean,
You can tell Adam is personally affected by this.
I think
It is.
But if you notice,
You have a lot of miscommunications as a result of
But I would
that.
challenge people, and you're going to see this. This is real stuff. I would challenge people, if you're in relationships or dating someone, get in a room with them where there's minimal distraction in that room.
Okay.
Like simplify the room, take stuff out of the room,
Okay.
make it like 2 chairs, sit in there,
Okay.
and just talk. But you'll see the discomfort on people because their phone is not near. They like. It's like a drug addict, and their
have
whole
to
body
explain the way
language.
they did that.
Yeah, their
On
body
TV.
language changes all up
Wow.
when you don't have that phone. You just like, it's really bad.
I do the dinner rule. Like at dinner.
Yeah,
That's me all day.
That makes sense.
That's me.
You on that dinner like,
Yeah.
it's our last
Yeah.
dinner.
But you're right, because it's
Yeah.
it's really rude.
It's rude.
Yeah.
It's rude.
And
And even like you
nowadays,
say, even in regards of family, like I know, like with your children and people, everybody sit at the dinner table and the kids are on their phone, parents on the laptop, like nobody's communicating.
Nobody's talking
even
to
as
each
a
other.
family.
Yeah.
yes.
You could definitely notice that around the holiday times, like when you're over for Thanksgiving or Christmas,
Yes.
and you just scan the room.
Yep.
Everybody like this, even the granny. Oh, like everybody on that.
Granny, what you doing?
Upload this picture, baby.
Right.
You know.
Man, that's
There's
just
so many
not.
levels to this too, right? Because I saw this D-Ray was at Apollo, and he was saying that technology has upped the game. The
Yeah.
game. He was like, you got Snapchat and all these different apps where
Right.
you can find different ways to cheat
Right.
and do dirt.
Right.
And so that's the other issue, right? It's not just the attention; it's the way people are using technology to further their
Yeah. The game.
Advances.
Oh, it's terrible.
Cyber
It is-
cheat.
right.
It is terrible the way the outlets that are open to that nowadays. I mean, it's bad. Like I said, it will.
Back page and
Oh my God.
come on.
You just got to
Oh,
call
dang.
them. Hey, y'all.
No, it was just in the news.
No, you're right.
Just in the news. It was
You
just
know
in
No,
the
you're
news.
right. I mean, all these sites, man. You're right. It's terrible, and it's like one of the worst things people can do is you can cheat the date. Like you can be there physically, but be
Right.
checked out.
Be checked out somewhere else.
technology
Digitally,
Because
yeah.
people, I've seen people. Here's one of the worst you want to see. You sitting there, and here you are. Last week we were talking about the steak and lobster dinner, right? You at an expensive place, and you sitting there, and you trying to hold a conversation, and all of a sudden, hold on for a minute. Then all of a sudden, he's stupid.
Oh my
Let him pay for the bill.
God.
You know, that kind of stuff.
Right, right.
That kind of stuff goes on.
Experiencing some
No.
stuff.
You know he got a story.
If you have a dating world, you've been
What
in
a date is
this
that?
situation, and so
Right.
people will try that.
Yeah.
They'll go out with you and still be socializing with the street. They'll have you in person, but the phone connects them to
Oh,
the street,
God,
and so
yeah.
they or let's just say maybe they're out with you to get a meal, but then they going out later. They do all kind of stuff, so they're gonna make sure that person posted up. I mean, come on,
And
man,
see,
you know how
because
this
I'm old school,
goes.
I'll judge somebody on a date basis.
Yeah, you know how that
If you
goes,
do that
yeah.
on a date with me, that's the end of our date. Like that's
Done.
it's a wrap.
Done.
Yeah.
And all it's going to do really is going to play into your insecurities that you already have there,
Correct.
that are already sitting there waiting to be excited. Or, oh, he's talking to some girl. Oh, she's talking to some guy. Oh, what they doing on their phone because I can't see what they doing on their phone. Come
That's
on.
why you just gotta raise hell at that date. And I don't even mean raise hell in a bad way, but you definitely are well within your right to call attention to the fact that you're feeling neglected in the day.
So I have something
Gonna
I can say to this. Don't judge me and laugh. But this
We're gonna judge you.
Oh,
This is
it's too late.
This is a
Definitely
self-proclamation.
judge
But there's
me.
a reason behind it.
Okay.
Okay, so for me, I remember because to me the phone has become such a focal point of issues within a relationship. Even getting to know somebody,
Okay.
even out the gate on the first date.
Right.
Phones are so bad. Let's just say, for instance, the phone you out, and let's just say I got my phone ringer up loud, right? Now Rhonda and I just going out, so that's her business, it's my business.
Okay.
We at the table, I'm eating, and all of a sudden the phone ring, and let's just say I'm ignoring. I look down, I see who it is, and I'm talking to her. Your phone ringing, what
You ain't gonna answer that?
Yeah, right.
Here's the common thing. Oh, what? Your girlfriend looking for you? It's like, you know what?
Right,
So
right.
everything turns to the phone, and it just destroys everything. So for me, I got into a place where I said, okay, I can't live like this. But I got into a place where I just turned my ringer off.
Right.
I didn't want
That's
to
what you're
deal with,
supposed
don't
to
ask
do.
no questions.
Right.
It's my phone, I'm
Right.
paying for it. You know, don't look at my phone, don't pick up my phone, none of those things, because I don't want the fallout from it.
Right.
Now, if we in a situation together and we on each other's bill, okay, that's different. We open. But if we get to know each other and all those things, I just think there should be boundaries. And people waste too much time in things that don't concern you at that point.
Okay.
I'm not saying post commitment and stuff like that. But at that point,
Right.
don't take it there. But a lot of people spend time. These phones kill. I'm telling you, it
my
messes
issue
up.
with the phone is that my phone is for my convenience. So I get irritated by people that blow my phone up. Like, so like in the age now of having a cell phone, it doesn't mean that you get to get in contact with me whenever you feel like it. How someone will
Right.
call you back to back, whether
Back
it's
to
my
back,
mother,
right, yeah.
whether it's a girlfriend, someone I'm dating.
Yeah,
Don't blow
yeah,
my
don't
phone
blow
up
my
and call
phone
me
up. I
back
hate
to back
that
to back
too.
because you assume
It's
that I'm
controlling.
phone boning. You
Yeah.
assume that I always have
Yeah.
my phone with me.
Right.
Right.
That irritates me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you say a phone boner?
A phone boner. Those are people
Wow.
that's what they're doing. They're boning
Yeah,
with the
phone,
phone.
right.
It's called a phone boner.
Oh,
Okay, so-
doing. Every day, I just learned
I
something new.
swear.
Just get educated.
So before we go into the comment section,
That's a new one to me too.
You never
let's.
heard that?
Phone boner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
phone
a new
boner.
one. I
I
didn't do
heard
that.
So before we go into the comments, let's go to some definitions. What is smartphone addiction? Let's see. Smartphone addiction, sometimes colloquially known as nomophobia, fear of being without a mobile phone, is often fueled by an internet overuse problem or internet addiction disorder. After all, it's rarely the phone or tablet itself that creates the compulsion, but rather the games, apps, and online worlds it connects us to.
Right.
Smartphone addiction can encompass a variety of impulse control problems, including virtual relationships, addiction to social networking, dating apps, texting, and messaging can extend to the point where virtual online friends become more important than real life relationships. We've all seen the couples sitting together in a restaurant, ignoring each other and engaging with their smartphones instead. While the internet can be a great place to meet new people, reconnect with old friends, or even start romantic relationships, online relationships are not a healthy substitute for real life interactions. Online friendships can be appealing as they tend to exist in a bubble, not subject to the same demands or stresses as messy real world relationships. Compulsive use of dating apps can change your focus to short-term hookups, very true, instead of developing long-term relationships.
You can testify to that fact.
Yes. Okay. Information overload. One more. Compulsive web surfing, watching videos, playing games, or checking news feeds can lead to lower productivity at work or school and isolate you for hours at a time. Compulsive use of the internet and smartphone apps can cause you to neglect other aspects of your life, from real world relationships to hobbies and social pursuits.
I agree with that.
I agree.
Lastly, cyber sex addiction. Compulsive use of internet pornography,
You're going deep
sexting,
tonight.
nude swapping, or adult messaging services can impact negatively on your real life intimate relationships or overall
I don't know why
emotional
you looking
health.
over here.
While pornography and cyber sex addiction are types of sexual addiction, the internet makes it more accessible, relatively anonymous, and very convenient. It's easy to spend hours engaging in fantasies impossible in real life. Excessive use of dating apps that facilitate casual sex can make it more difficult to develop long-term
Shots being fired across these
relationships or
platforms.
damage an existing relationship. Hater. Yeah. All
You
right.
weren't sending no nudies over the old school phone.
Right.
Long cord.
No, you wasn't. Oh my
All right,
God.
so
man.
Tanya Jackson says, well, first Janice Westbrook You know what, Janice? You were supposed
Where's
to.
Janet?
You owe
She
us
said you
$10.
didn't confirm.
Anyway, so even after commitment, we all need privacy. Okay, that's what Janice says. All right, Katanya says even in commitment, a person needs to trust their mate enough to be Inspector Gadget. Wait a minute.
She corrected it. at the
Oh,
end.
not to be Inspector.
Not to be Inspector Gadget. Okay, to be Inspector Gadget. Yeah, that's funny.
All right. So, all right, guys, come on, you guys in the comments, give us some feedback. We sitting here, you know how you guys
Janice
say.
had another good comment. If you scroll up, you see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Kimberly Diva said media and smartphones have become the new liquid courage. Wow, for many.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. You would say some things online versus actually saying it to the person's face.
Yeah.
Coward's way
Call
out.
him internet gangster.
Yeah. Internet
Janice
bullying.
says people haven't changed. We still do the same things we did 30, 40 years ago. Smartphones have pros and cons. Pros and cons. It's a communication tool only. It helps us to better balance work and life in the palm of our hands
But it's no
remotely.
balance.
But it also makes inappropriate communications easier.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it's not the phone.
No, it's the person that's using the
Right,
The phone
phone.
is just a tool.
It's the
Yeah,
person
it's
that's using the phone. It's
Yeah.
But it's
us.
You're
not
right.
evenly balanced. When she said there has to be balance, it's not evenly balanced.
Okay, here's Maria. Let's see. I think it says Hallmark representative. Okay.
You know what?
Maria says,
She gonna come down here and cut you.
Maria says, a few days ago, I noticed my fiance locks his phone.
Uh-oh.
We have been together for over 2 years now, but I never realized it was locked. So I asked him for his password.
Oh no.
And he gave it to me. Then he asked, "What do you need it for?" I said, "For nothing. I was just wondering if he was going to give it or not." It was funny, but it was funny in reality. If I never have to go through his phone or he asked for mine, I think we will have more issues than we think then. So, Maria, question: if the person had told you no, what would you have said? Things to ponder on.
That
What do you guys feel
argument.
about that though? I don't.
That's appropriate.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
that.
don't want
I
anybody asking me
don't.
for my
Whether
password.
dating or married, I don't think that that means that you have total
I don't.
access to someone else's private life. I mean, not that you share a life together. I get that, but I think that you still are allowed to be an individual. I just think that's too much for me. That's too much.
Give me some space. Give me
Yeah.
some space. I feel
There,
that.
there needs to be fundamental trust,
To this
right?
be-
Right.
If you're worried, then there's a problem.
Right.
And if you're
Okay.
not worried, then why do you need to have that access? Like, it seems insecure from a front level, unless there's been issues in the past where there's a need to monitor or something like that. And if that's the case too, then you still
I'm
need
like,
to
do you go to
wonder.
the bathroom with this person?
Mm.
I'm like, how far do you take this?
Okay.
Where do you cut it off at?
So they started already up. Janice says, never ask a person for their phone password.
Exactly.
Katanya says, you're right, Maria. You will have issues if you need his password. You should trust him and give him the courtesy of his privacy. Janice says it shows insecurity. Kimberly Adiva says, I would never ask or want to be asked for my password. Wow.
Wow.
Tough one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough
And
one.
just
I mean,
because you have
it's a
password
broad-
on
it's
your
a
phone,
broad.
I mean, like for me, just because you have a password on your phone doesn't mean cheating or it doesn't mean
Right.
that he's doing something negative.
Right.
I have a password on my phone because I have a child.
I was gonna
so
say,
what if I
Right.
have
Child.
movies in my phone of me and you? What if we are a couple and we're taking video shots or whatever?
We don't want nobody to see that.
You know what?
I'm not saying that. You're right.
Right.
Having a lock on your phone does
That's
not
a
necessarily
Right.
you're
trouble.
That's the first line of security. If your phone gets
Right.
lost, something-
Exactly.
That's the first line of security.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
or someone else in public getting
Yeah.
into it.
But here's something I think is a great temptation. Are you doing this
What?
bestie stuff again? Oh my God!
You know what? There we
Here's a
go.
great-
There we go.
Here's a great temptation in relationships. Sometimes the more, how do you say it? The more tighter the bond. You know, some relationships nowadays are loose. They're
Okay.
relationships, but it's just loose, and you don't
Right.
really feel the security.
Right.
But the more secure you tend to feel, to me, there's that temptation to step over the balance of kind of control.
Yes.
It gets to a
Right.
point
Yes.
where, yes, you're mine, you're all my soul. All of this should be open. I should be able to see all because you're mine. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of takes that approach on, and I think even when someone gets married, you still should respect them.
Yeah, you should respect their privacy. Absolutely.
Even in marriage, you should respect people.
Well, see, the thing of it is, again, if you have an underlying insecurity issue, it's going to show up not just on phones, but it's going to show up in every aspect of your relationship with that particular person. If you have that type of issue, then it really is. It's very important that you talk to the person about how you're feeling. And then from that point, you can figure out a way to resolve the issue. Because again, you having a code to somebody else's phone doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to do what they want to do.
They don't stop them. That's what I was going to say.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you have to have trust. If your relationship is not based upon the foundation of trust, you don't have a relationship. What are you doing?
It would probably irritate me if somebody was like, "Let me get your password." I'd be like, "What? For what?"
Right.
To see what you're up to.
Did you pay this phone bill this month?
In her defense, that might have just been it might have been a funny, right? Like, might have been a funny.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a funny, that it probably.
No, she said it was.
Right. It's funny. Yeah.
But I think it became reflective as it went on. And she was like, wait a minute. And it probably got more reflective on what was happening and like, what am I, how am I to handle this? Should I be doing this?
But had he said no, then it would have led to some unnecessary drama.
But him saying yes probably led to more security within the relationship.
With the person,
But you need to have that in yourself anyway.
But here's the kicker. I'm going to throw
Today it's password. Tomorrow it's let me see the Facebook password.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me see
Where
this.
does it stop?
Let me see this.
The answer is
no, I'm just making it. No, I'm telling you. Sometimes those things can turn into one yes in one area. Then if you ever say no again, you really can't because now you let me see this.
Why? You understand what I'm saying?
I think we're starting to because. The person who's comfortable and secure with themselves is never going to go down that path because they don't start down that path. They don't have that feeling inside. Right. So the person who is going to say, why you always hanging with Craig? You supposed to be home at 7:48. You left work at 7:30. It wasn't that much traffic. You like, well, that's the problem. It's just in every area.
That's within you.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what? If we're all honest, access is addicting. I'm telling you that when you're with someone, the more access they give you, the more engaged and the more closer you pull in and the more you want.
Okay.
And it takes discipline. It takes discipline to be able to balance access.
Well, okay, so say for example, so basically what you're saying is that at the beginning of a relationship, yes, you don't have that much access to the person. You're trying to get access to the person by talking to them and communicating with them. The further along you go, you should be getting more access, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm
just trying to find out.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying, but as it goes on, thus bringing us to this password type stuff. Not just password, but just type stuff. What I'm saying is the access thing, it grows into a monster if you're not balanced. It can. It'll grow into a monster, and then you're like, okay, wait a minute, we kind of lost some things here.
Okay, so is it a monster, or is it the natural progression of the relationship? Because again, what I'm saying is, if I'm in a relationship with you, and the further along we grow together in intimacy, then yes, you're going to have more access. Now, I'm trusting you to be responsible with the access. I'm trusting you not to abuse the access.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
So if that's the case, then that means I don't have anything to worry about because if I'm giving you access, you're trustworthy of the access. Now, if you're treating this access in a way that is abusive, then no, you can't have access.
Yeah, but I agree.
But I
it
can
still becomes an addiction.
So,
it's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so Ava, the new mother Ava, says, I am late to the conversation, but I am not giving up passwords. Not because of any guys that may be in there, but because me and my bestie have off-the-wall conversations.
Right.
Now, Ava is married, so that's her perspective from a
okay.
And this is her bestie right here. So you probably her husband probably would vomit if he saw what they said. Let's see. Maria is coming back to fight for her statement. Maria says,
playing, first of all.
Maria says,
We know you were playing,
we know.
Maria.
Yes.
But we were saying if someone
It gave us something.
What she said.
No, what she said. She gave us something to go off of. But Maria said, I didn't.
But there are women that do that for real. I mean, women and men.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Maria was saying, she says, I didn't even pay attention on what it was. She said, LOL. She knows she written it down. But anyway, she said the fact that
You gotta
it is,
memorize
she
that.
said the fact is that we have been together over 2 years and I had no idea he locked it. And then she says, that tells you I never
Check.
even had to try to go through his phone ever. Good. Okay.
Okay.
And so
All right.
David King says it shows insecurity when you need passwords. If it's my wife, I would have a place in case of emergency.
Okay, right.
Okay. Okay. And then Janice says, I never joke like that because if the request, if the request was made to me, it's a deal breaker.
Right.
Take my openness to my life and time offered as proof of intention. Wow.
Right.
Maria says we both laughed about it because without hesitation he gave it to me. Then he asked for what? It was funny. Yeah, he's too late. Once he gave it, it's done. Nikki Nikia says, good point, Ava. Me and my bestie do that as well. Now, see, she's starting a movement.
That's right.
Now it's gonna be. I'm gonna say me too.
Oh no! You know what?
Wow. Saying me too.
Oh my God, y'all.
So, but yeah, I mean, wow. Okay, so all right.
Where's some of the guys? I want to hear some of the guys on
David
just said something.
David's one guy. There's like
where's
100
Landon?
No, not anyone.
Landon.
See, you're gonna ask for something that you really don't want.
Yeah.
You better be happy with what you got before you end up with a phone call.
Like my biggest thing has always been have your own friends.
Yeah, have your own life.
Wow.
Because you had a life before I met you.
You wanted to get out.
I don't be
No, I'm just, but like, I can't do that. I can't either.
Right. You should never do
gotta have
that.
your own life.
That's stifling. It's stifling to a relationship. It smothers it.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah, it smothers a relationship. That's not
Too
cool.
much pressure. Okay, we've come to that part of the show where we show off our acting skills.
Oh man, when did this become a part of the show?
That's why
He's a troublemaker.
Me?
Yes.
Good. We need that.
Well, he can do all the acting then.
We need
Let him do all the roles.
I think we need to go back.
Hey,
to
Andre.
Rhonda and Adam.
Yes.
Yeah, let's pick up where they
Rhonda
left
had
off.
Adam shook last week.
Whatever, dude.
My money. You was stuttering everything. I was like,
You know what?
got him. He's like,
You know what? That show's not even right, man.
I could have said this and I could have said that.
So Dre, let's challenge the difficult one over here, Natalie. All right. So you guys are gonna have a conversation. So one of you gotta pick who's the person who feels the other person is way more time on the phone and distracting the relationship. Like somebody is, whichever one of you all has more of the passion for hating it. It's probably gonna be Dre because she loves her devices. So,
Ooh.
Really, Charles?
Wow.
We can flip it.
Wow.
yeah, however.
I can be on the phone. Remember, because let's see. I'm trying to get my business together. I'm always on the phone trying to get stuff together. And you like, why ain't you got enough time for me? Remember that from last week?
Oh, that's
Did
right.
I
Let's
say
pick that up.
I think Rhonda said it.
No.
It was
wow.
it was
Let's pick
you.
that up.
Okay.
Come on, let's pick it
All
up
right,
and go.
Let's go with that.
remember.
No, I said it came about, let's see,
What were we arguing about?
it was about time. And you were saying, if you don't have enough time for me, I was like, what if he's trying to, start up a business or something? He was like, well, that, you just ain't for me then. If you can't make time to prioritize me and da-da-da, I was like, well, okay. Well,
Okay. All right, I'll just go with it and just follow my lead.
Oh,
All right.
wait a minute. Hold on one
I
second.
think I can manage.
So, Kimberly, wait a minute. April 1st says, yes, separate interests are important. I guess she was talking about what you were saying, too.
Yes.
Then Kimberly says, question, please, she wants a man to respond to this. How should a woman take a man that always has his phone by his side, but when you text or call, it takes him hours
Oh,
to
wow.
return?
You really need a man.
He can't put his phone down, but when you hit him up, he was unavailable.
I'm gonna let Charles handle that.
But you know what? There could be a number of reasons. I'll let off you, and I'll let the guys say. I'm gonna say it first. Because I've been definitely accused of this one. Okay, so
Man.
Allegedly.
people need to understand this about me. I do millions of things at one time. I mean, I'm working, I'm thinking about the show, I'm thinking about my furniture stuff I do, I'm thinking about my music. I got a million things going in my head. So at any given part of the day, I can be very distracted.
Okay, go ahead.
I was told I had ADHD, all kinds of stuff. So I can be very distracted. I can be talking to you on the phone, and I can be like, yeah, okay. Then all of a sudden, the person will always say, oh, I lost you. I've heard this millions of times about many people, my friends, cousins, relationships. Oh, I think let me go and get off the phone, because they know when I have just digressed and left the building, right? And they're like, wait a minute. So sometimes me being busy doesn't necessarily mean you're being dismissed or ignored. Now, on the flip side, in my former life,
What does it mean?
Huh?
What does it mean then?
It does mean that
it does.
you're being ignored.
No, not purposely. I mean, that's what I mean. It's like you're not purposely.
So you're doing it
trying to-
inadvertently. It's just it's happening.
They're not enough to hold your attention.
Correct.
Damn.
Yeah, purposely. So on the flip side,
Either way.
no. What I was trying to say in so many words, sometimes people can be busy. That's
Well, yeah, we
that's
all
it.
busy.
Yeah. And on the flip side of it, that same question can just mean you low on the pecking order. On the same question.
Throw the
I'm
whole
speaking-
mic away.
If I'm
Wow.
speaking from the former life, I'm just being honest.
Preach,
it
preacher.
could mean that priority-wise, you're low on the pecking order.
Say it one more time.
Priority-wise, you're low on the pecking order.
There's no can about that.
But that's just both sides looking at it. But I'm just giving you different ways. It's not always that someone is dismissive or ignoring you.
Okay.
And I think we put too much credence in validation. Sometimes if you go about your day doing you don't think, it doesn't bother
That's
you
true.
as much
Okay.
as it does. You like,
All right.
text that nigga 6 hours ago.
Right.
And you sitting there watching TV, you mad, and it's just too much.
Have your own life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
detract
have your
from
own
it
life.
and do other
Definitely.
things, and
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about all that.
Yeah, that's true.
So if I got mad about that all the time, you'd be in front of people's house. If people ain't respond to texts and all that,
They are
I
in
don't
front of
live
your
by that
house.
creed.
They are in front of your house.
They call
I
you.
get
They'll
it.
talk to you because let me tell you, people will become so dismissive that it can have you enraged, especially if you know that they know you're into them and they purposely. It'll piss you off. But what can you do? What you gonna do? Beat them up, control them? They ain't your property. What are you
As
gonna
a
do?
woman,
You know?
I've gotten accused of that, and I'm sure Natalie can relate to this, being a fellow hairstylist. If I'm with you and you see me answer my phone, it's because I'm off.
Oh, wow.
Right.
And when
yeah.
I'm working,
I'm
I
working.
cannot answer
I
my
see.
phone because
Right.
my
I
hands
see.
are tied up
Yeah.
constantly all day.
We have
Wow.
lives. We have jobs that we have to work. So that means we're not always going to be available at your, beck and call to answer every text message immediately.
Exactly.
We
So
still have
when you
lives.
see me answer my phone for somebody else, it's because my hands are not in water right now. They are not doing someone's head.
Yeah.
I have a comment. So, if it's, let's say, 10 a.m., and I text you, good morning, don't hit me at 5.
Don't
Talking
what?
about good afternoon. Don't hit me at 5. Because
Okay.
I feel like I'm as busy as the next person. But if it takes you 6 hours to reply back to a good morning text when we didn't even have a phone conversation.
Right.
This was just a text.
Yeah.
It takes you 6 hours. At some point, your phone is touch your hand. I have a problem with that. If it were me, I would have a problem.
Here's
Kimberly
why.
said the
Let's
man
go back to what you said. When we did not have cell phones, if you call somebody at 6:30 in the morning before they left to go to work and they didn't answer,
What
and
you
they were
gonna
at
do?
work all day for
You
7
gotta wait.
hours, 8 hours, you had to
You
wait
gotta wait,
anyway.
right.
Yeah,
But
that's
we're
true.
not in that age
But
anymore.
it goes back to my cell
Validation.
phone is not for you.
For you,
My cell
correct.
phone is for
For
me.
me.
It is
Well, I'm
for
not
your
texting
communication.
you
That's
good
good.
morning, so luckily
I'm guilty
we're
of that.
okay there.
But it goes back to people think that just because you have a cell phone,
That means you
that
you
you are
tied to
accessible
it.
to
Rhonda
whatever-
Patrick-
Y'all going that. Ding ding.
like, I didn't text you, boo. Yeah.
Anybody who knows me knows that I'm guilty of that.
Now listen, okay,
Because
they starting in, so here we go.
Yo, if I text you at 10, you better not wait till 5 to hit me back.
Okay,
And that's
so-
Natalie B. That's just me.
So let me ask you this now.
You don't get that pass.
Do you think the opposite side of the world
I don't want
was-
you to
People
ask
are
No,
that
listen.
busy.
Do you
People
think
are that
people
busy.
can say you're that consistent response-wise?
Well, I'm not opposed to being called out on my stuff though. So no. I'm not opposed to being called out. If I'm doing something that you find offensive or problematic, then have a conversation with me. What I'm saying is that would be problematic to me, and I'm gonna have a conversation.
Okay, all right.
All right.
All right, so
These
Dave,
That's fair.
so let's go into
That's fair.
they started kicking up.
But-
Dave, okay.
I think the big thing is that everything's personal, right? Just because one person does one thing doesn't mean it's the same thing that you think it is or feel
Exactly.
it is, right? Because everybody's got, like, there's some people I won't text back right away because it's never a one text response.
Right.
It's a conversation.
Yeah, it's conversation.
Right.
Right?
Definitely.
And so I don't
Definitely.
have time to have a 45-minute conversation.
Right.
I'll text you later when I
Right.
have time.
Yeah.
And some people, they'll call me in the middle of the day when I'm working because they know I work from home. I'm like, well, yeah, I work from home. My phone is here.
But I'm still not free. Yeah, I'm still on the clock.
And
Yeah.
so I want to answer that call
Right.
because I know I don't have 45, 50 minutes to talk to you.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're free doesn't mean I'm free.
Right.
Right.
But there are people who, if
Who
that's
do
your
that?
boo and they text you and you don't hear back within a reasonable amount of time,
And
you need to research.
And then the
that.
other thing is you have to look at a lot of varying factors. Rhonda says she's doing hair. Maybe she's not able to
That's
get to the
different,
phone. But in the event that you're dating someone, and let's just say that maybe they have a job that's lenient at work, or maybe they work from home, like, it wouldn't take 6 hours. If your normal pattern of communication isn't that, then you have every right to feel some type of way if it's taking that long all of a sudden. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So if you're doing hair, well, I'm not
That's
dating a
different.
hairstylist.
Right,
so
that's different.
yeah,
That's different.
it would be different.
So here's the thing. All right, let's jump in because they started jumping out there. David King says there is a concept I practice. It's called being consistent at being inconsistent. He says it's deep, but it works.
Could you explain, David? Because I want to understand where
I know
you're
what
coming
he's
from.
saying,
I know the guys.
In layman terms, he's keeping you off your toes.
Right.
Keeps you off your
For
toes.
what?
Right.
It works for him. He doesn't want you pinpointing his patterns.
Right.
So he keeps you off your
Why?
base.
Oh.
But why?
No, I'm asking
No,
him. Ask him why.
Yeah,
why?
why?
Like, why are you trying to keep somebody off balance?
Go ahead, come on, David. He said, "Why would you?"
Call
keep the
in
person-
here.
If that's what you mean anyway, I was speaking on his behalf. He says when you get into a pattern with a woman and deviate, there will be questions. Correct. He is not lying. There's sometimes they feel something is wrong.
And sometimes
Because
it is, but
right?
Oh,
Sometimes
dang.
But the thing is, that
Oh,
relationships,
wow.
and if you care about somebody, particularly women more so than men, are about consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, everything they're looking for is consistent.
It's consistency,
behavior,
right.
consistent, interaction, consistent. Be consistent. I can rely on you and trust you, and then I have to worry about this kind of stuff. But you intentionally keeping somebody on toes. That's
a little
playing
something
games. You playing
right
somebody's
there.
head, like, that's
Yeah.
childish.
Just
So-
don't do that,
So
man.
Janice says, I think the point is that you own your own time.
Yeah,
You have the right to choose to spend it the way
Exactly.
that makes sense
Thank
to you.
Okay.
I don't answer my desk office phone because I may not have the time, or in the middle of the work stuff, it's an infringement. So that's a good point.
Yes, I agree.
The other point I was going to make is sometimes, so for work, I deal with a lot of behaviors and patterns, right, of different people and the different projects I work on.
Right.
So for me, people may not understand this, but some people I may chat with or in my circle of communication, sometimes I can see that people will overturn their emotions over into their dealings with you communication wise. And what that means is, let's just say like if someone like what Natalie says, someone texts you at 10 and you don't respond until 3, they're enraged.
I ain't say 3.
No, I'm just making it to 5, whatever. So they're enraged
Quote me right.
because
Because you had
they
to
are
wait so long.
operating from a place of control. And they feel,
No,
listen,
that's
I ain't
not a
say
place
you.
of control.
So you're the guilty one.
No,
Anyway,
but-
I didn't say you.
Lord.
I'm just saying some
But-
Use my example.
some people use that as a message to say, they're thinking, you got your phone, Dre. Pick it up and respond to me right now. Why can't you? That's control. We grown folks.
That's control.
It don't matter if I'm asleep, if I'm going to the ice cream truck. It's my business, right? If I want to respond, I'm going to respond. If not, okay, I'll get to you. Doesn't mean I broke the commitment, I cheated, I don't want to be with you. Maybe I just value my solitude for a minute. Because I know when I dive into you, here it comes. So sometimes we take it the way we can take it, our piece.
Well,
You know what I'm
and the
saying?
other thing is sometimes people project what they would do on other people.
Correct.
You know, well, I would
Okay.
do something.
Yeah,
I would
and I'm
respond
not
right
you.
away.
Right,
Exactly.
right,
That's
right.
the problem, right? Because
Right.
they get a certain level of expectation
Exactly.
about what
I agree.
you might do based on what they would do.
Right.
I think it boils down to consistency. If you've established a pattern where you communicate regularly and then all of a sudden you're not as much, then that's going to raise an alarm.
I mean, that
It's
is going to
red
raise a flag because it's out of your behavior.
Yeah,
You're not
but
behaving
that's
like you
it's
used
not
to do.
From
consistent.
someone expecting you to do it though. Like you said, if you've built and you've established that type of rapport with somebody, that's one thing. But then, like somebody just said on here about, I don't care how busy I am, I can still respond. Well,
That's
kudos
you.
to you.
Right,
But
that's
you know
you.
what?
That's what you're
I think
able to do.
everybody's not
Not
the
like
same.
that.
I think in the
Exactly.
very,
Everybody's not like
I
that.
think in the very beginning when you're getting to know people, that expectation isn't there anyway because you don't know what their patterns are. I think the context that I'm speaking from is when you're in a relationship or you're dating someone consistently. At the point where there's an absence of communication for 6 or 7 hours and they're not hurt or hospitalized, and I understand if they're busy, but there are so many things on the phone where all you gotta do is press the button the same way you don't answer. All you gotta do is press one button that says I can't talk right now or I'm busy. Everyone at this table has a smartphone, and it does that. I think I'm speaking from the context of a committed relationship, 6 or 7 hours passing, and you guys have built I would think that you're not getting to a point where you're committed like that if you're not really talking that much in the beginning anyway.
Correct.
So I'm speaking from a point of where we're dating and this is established.
Right.
As somebody I just met, I probably don't care if you answer your phone. I'm probably not checking for you like that right now anyway. So I'm saying from more of a committed standpoint, an absence that long is just unacceptable.
Well, he's
I just
probably
think we're all
absent.
wired differently.
He's
So.
probably absent because you're not thinking for him like that. But anyway,
I
so the
probably
point
will
I'm
be-
saying
Why he gotta shoot his shot,
here's the thing.
man?
Man,
he
though.
always
Here's the
shoot
thing.
his
You gotta
shot.
think of it like
Cause
this.
he a flame.
No, you gotta think of it like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have no problem with accountability, so to speak.
Okay.
If it's
David
24/7,
said, "What's the number?"
365. She wants to call in?
David wants to call in.
Oh, okay. David,
All
224
right, we got it.
998 8699.
Auxiliary mode.
Auxiliary mode.
No, she's
Hello.
so lovely.
Auxiliary mode.
Is he gonna call?
Probably so.
David said, you're not gonna misconstrue my.
Tell me
You
about
misconstrue. You
Natalie,
I can
go down
misconstrue.
We'll
here.
be best friends forever, and she'll tell you that she's known me forever. That I'm not gonna remember your birthday, cause that's not, my brain doesn't work like that. Everybody is wired differently, and it doesn't mean that I don't care.
Right.
It doesn't mean that your
Okay.
birthday isn't important to me. I'm just not good with numbers. But I can see somebody from grammar school and be like, her name was Candy. She used to eat her boogers in class, and you probably won't remember that.
Okay.
Like, so I just think,
No,
Candy, where you at?
context
We need you
that
to
I'm
call
talking
in,
about is
Candy.
Probably not applicable to the situation
David-
you're talking
Oh
about.
my
Because this
God.
is for like a committed relationship.
224 998 8699. 224
We can put in the
998
comments too.
Yeah,
8699.
just put in the comments.
This is Candy. For the record, I have gotten thick skin for Rhonda never remembering my birthday.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
So, what, Rhonda, what do you remember then? No, I'm just kidding.
You know
I
what?
just
No,
told
just
you, I
playing.
remember, yeah.
I'm playing, yeah, but so, yeah.
I remember events and occasions and things that happen, but I'm not good with numbers.
She remembered when I picked my nose at the Mendel party.
Wow. How many years ago was that? Wow.
All right, here's David, guys. Come on, here we go.
Hey, David.
Evening, my people. Good evening. Good evening.
Hey, David.
Hello.
What's up, brother?
David,
You hung up on me.
what happened?
What'd you do, bro?
Oh, come on, man.
You got 7 minutes.
Oh, this isn't right. Don't tell me the system is acting funny. Hold on. Oh, we still got a feed, right? Let me fix this. Hold on. Something powered down for a second. As long as they can you guys still hear us and see us out there? We want to make sure we're not losing something here. Hold on. Somebody
About
say
the
something.
numbers.
We've been doing good. We was
Can they
doing
see
real
us,
good.
though?
We had
Ellie,
no
did you text
issues.
it? You like that?
Daggone Charles Dixon.
What's going on with the thing? Come on, man.
Can everyone hear us still?
Hit us back real quick and let us know.
Somebody say something. Can y'all hear?
It's still live.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
still
my
live.
phone went all the way off. Hold on. I'm surprised though. It's still live because my phone went. all
Oh,
the
Deborah
way
said
off.
they can still hear.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, 1 second. My phone is powering back up, David. 1 second. We got.
Your phone
couple
just
minutes.
shut down,
I don't
huh?
know why I did that.
Daggone
Yeah.
Apple product.
They probably were doing that. They were just on a random
Apple be
update.
playing.
Yeah. Dang. Hold on 1 second, David. Come on, we got your David get his point in there.
In the meantime, I could put the number. What is it?
224. Oh, wait a minute. Hold 1 second, David. 224-998-8699. Hold on, David. What in the
699.
world is going on? Okay, all right. All right, call now, David.
It's powering back on.
Come on, David.
That's the right number. 998-8699.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
There he
All
is.
right. David, you there? David. David.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, all right.
Can they hear
All
him?
right. Now, to explain what I meant, I'm not into playing games with anyone, but in my experiences. Yes.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
we
Go ahead.
listen.
We're listening.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear
Go
you.
ahead.
Go ahead, man.
We got 2 minutes. David, you there? David, you there?
Are you guys still picking me up?
Yeah, we're listening. Come on. We got 2 minutes. Can you?
Okay, but like I was saying, I'm not into playing games with anyone.
Okay.
But in my experiences, when you establish certain patterns with someone,
He got feedback.
Can you hear us?
and when you, like I said, when you establish certain patterns with someone and you break that pattern, it tends to draw red flags to that person.
You're right.
I agree.
All right. Well, thanks for calling and explaining that, brother.
I don't think he can hear us. I think it's acting.
All right. We got to get ready to roll up out of here. Let's get some quick rundowns. Sorry about that, David. Do some quick rundowns and let's get this going.
Whether it's cell phones or anything else, look behind the behavior and figure out what you're getting from it, or what that other person is getting from it, and then you can probably get down to the issue.
I didn't have anything to say. I want to plug a show for this weekend, this Friday at the entrance. It's for a live band. You guys can Google the entrance
Oh my goodness.
and come out to the show 8 o'clock
This is
for a
for the
live
people.
band.
Got to give people something.
No, I had to do that.
All right, okay. Now, everybody, as much as you can, unplug from tech world, and let's all collectively try to work to the real world. You know, talking in face to face, spending quality time, and no, I'm just kidding. Doing.
You almost died when you said that. You almost died.
Doing the things that matter. No, I get it. I know that people often misconstrue that I know these things. Of course I do. I just sometimes don't practice.
Do you
but I
do them is the question, but
Nonetheless.
okay.
All right, come on, Natalie.
I think let's collectively try to have more personal interactions and minimize the amount of time we spend on our phones and computers when we're around other people.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I was going to say was just to, put your phones down.
Put them down.
Just put them down.
Just drop them.
And talk to the person face to face. That's it.
All right. Okay. So, everybody, thanks again for another week. We'll come back again next week, and I'll shoot out another topic either later tonight or tomorrow. You guys, I told you guys last week to kind of inbox me and let me know what you all wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know Dre might have some I got some ideas, but I like to enlist ideas of panelists to see it from different angles. But I have something that I want to get into. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Oh, here we go.
You got the stalking?
No, not
Oh, okay.
I'm going to hold that out for a minute.
I don't know why he holding that out.
You want to hear some stories. Anyway,
There's probably somebody looking for you now.
I want
They probably looking for you right now.
I want to get into how do we reconcile sharing our partners and spouses? How do we reconcile that in our mind? How do we have a person see them physically in action with other people and then go back home with them? How do we do that? I know people do it. I'm not judging. I just want to know how to do
Are you talking about open relationships?
Open relationships.
You talking about open relationships?
Yeah, open relationships.
I was like,
Swingers. He was trying to be politically correct,
Yeah.
but
right.
just call
You
it what
talking about
it
open
is.
relationships?
Call it what it is.
It's happening all around us, whether you want to, and it's happening on every level. It's happening all around us. So it's something that's people are really slowly making it the norm. You don't even know these things are weaving around all in the background. And so,
not about that life.
Yeah. So I think that's a good thing to tap into.
All right.
We may get some hate mail and on the building, but I think it'll be.
Ooh, your
Wait
show's
to hear
up.
your stories about this, Charles.
I want a story. I want a story. I want a story.
Oh,
Maybe technology has attributed to the open relationship.
absolutely.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks again. So I think we're off the broadcast, but we're still live. I know we gotta get ready.
Oh, he said we
Wrap
are.
up.
And we're done.
All right.
Alrighty.
Thanks again, guys. We will see you guys next week.
I know I got to.
Therapy.
She started talking to me like I was her man. I'm like, I ain't calling you or
They about to
texting
go
you.
at it. I was like, oh, they about to go at it up in this joint.
She looked at me like I was her boo. I'm like, I'm not
I
checking
get
you.
so sick of getting cussed out for that. Like,
What's up,
yeah,
Sam?
like
The phone?
every time it took you 9 hours, like, well, no, I'm guilty of that. Somebody could text me at 9 o'clock, say good morning, and at about 6, I'm say good evening. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not a norm in any of my relationships. So I would probably
That's
have a
not a
problem.
But
It's not
see,
a
I know
norm
what you
in my
do.
And I'll
relationship.
cuss them out. And if they say something back, they're going to get cussed out.
Rhonda, we go back.
I'm like,
I know you doing
when you start
hair,
paying my
it's
phone bill, let me know.
Right. Oh,
I'm
wow.
gonna start
like,
putting it wrong.
Who is apologizing
stop
for
paying
texting me at night?
Unless you paying my phone
Yeah.
bill, don't come at me like that.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. But somebody should know not to text you during business hours either.
Well, they're gonna already know that. That's gonna
If
be
you're in a
information they
relationship
already
with her,
know,
then
so they
know
won't do
that.
that.
They know that's her pattern.
Yeah.
Really?
Probably get to.
You just not gonna get
Or
that
like,
answer.
I might be putting the client up under the dryer and see who's texting me because I'm like, oh, somebody's under the
I want to
dryer.
get there.
And then when now my next client walking the door, I sometimes don't even have time to eat
Red
lunch.
mark
So don't tell me I'm not
on
that
the side of your
busy.
face.
Sometimes I
You need
don't
about
use the
6 of them
bathroom.
anyway.
Don't listen to that.
Best part is that you're not
About
gonna
6
get
or
that
7.
answer.
6 or